Hey family, welcome to How Love Works, where we talk about the principles for lasting love. Well, I got one for you brothers today. It's going to be short and sweet, but I hope that it's going to be something that you'll be able to take something from this conversation today as we go forward. I got a little information as I was going through the internet today, and I was looking for some other information, and I ended up falling in to something that was so intriguing that I was just totally compelled. I was pulled in. And what it was from the American Enterprise Institute, and it was really doing a whole lot of in-depth conversation about black men in America. It's talking about black men in America from a financial perspective. And really what they were talking about how black men are starting to make it in America and how many black men are going into the middle class. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, come on now. Come on. What I see on television, of course, and I have to take everything I watch on television with a grain of salt anyway, because oftentimes we're only looking at about 5 corporations that own all of the media in America, and so you got 5 guys pretty much brainwashing the country, telling people what to believe. But at the end of the day, when I got a chance to see this information, it came out way back in 2018, and the title at the time, and I'll leave it down in the description. The title was "Black Men Making It in America." Black men making it in America, and they were talking about some success engines that made it possible for black men to make it today. So I said, I'm going to share this with the brothers. I want to also share this with sisters on the channel who may be a little bit shocked, because I know I was. And so I'm just going to read the information. It's actually a report. You can go on YouTube and watch the whole video if you like. All you have to do is reference the information that I'm going to put out, and you shouldn't have any problem finding it. I watched the video. I took some notes. And I'm just going to give the information because, again, I was just absolutely taken aback, and I was intrigued and actually happy because, based upon what's on the news, I would think that black men are not doing anything but, shooting drugs, blowing each other's brains out, going in and out of prison. Some of them acting like females, some of them thinking they're men or, intersexual, and next thing they'll be thinking they're animals. I don't know. As far as I can tell, that's just what I have been seeing in the media. So once again, the media is holding back the good news while they're pushing forward the negative narrative and the negative stereotype. These numbers are ridiculous. I'm telling you, you're not going to believe me. That's why you're going to have to check it out for yourselves, brothers. Here it is. Black men making it in America. All right. First question. What share of black men have reached the middle class or higher as adults? What share are in poverty? We're going to answer that question. Question number 2. What are the key institutional and cultural engines of economic success for black men in America today? Let me read that again. What are the key institutional and cultural engines of economic success for black men in America today? All right. Okay. As per the new analysis of census data outlined in the report, more than 1 in 2 black men, more than 57%, have made it into the middle class or higher as adults today. Did you know that? I didn't. Why is the question. That's the question I want to know. Why didn't we know that? Okay, I'll digress, continue. Now here's the one that threw me. Up from 38%. We went from 38% in 1960s. That's all that was in the middle class in the 1960s. Okay, to upwards to 57% now. Okay, and the share of black men who are poor has fallen from a high of 41% in the 60s to 18% in 2016. Who knew? All right. Now let's go into some of these economic engines of success. These are the engines of success that have catapulted black men into the middle class. Here it is. You're not going to believe this one. Look it up. Number one, regular church. I said it. I didn't write this. Regular church attendance and a strong sense of personal agency are linked to upward mobility for black men. Agency, all that means, brothers and sisters, all that means is that you have young black men or black men in general who have just decided they're no longer going to allow the obvious. That is, yes, there is racism. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is malevolence. Yes, there is suffering out here in the world. All that's here, and it ain't going anywhere. But it's not going to be the reason. I'm sorry, I put it this way. It may be a reason, but it won't be the excuse that I will use for not pursuing my desires and my passions and my goals. And brothers who have made that decision that they're just going to go forward rather than backwards and stop looking at all of the things that have always been a part of being a man, have always been a part of being in this world. Pain, malevolence, suffering, racism, classism, sexism, that's always been here. I'm not looking for the government to fix all that. They probably won't fix it, and they probably will never fix it. But in the meantime, as long as they don't have their finger or their thumb on my head, and they're not putting guards out in front of my house, and they're not stopping me from going out putting out applications for jobs, I'm going forward. All right. So that's all agency means. All right, here are the numbers. Black men who frequently attend church services at young ages are more likely to reach the middle class or higher in their 50s. For example, 53% of those who attend church as young men made it compared to 43% who never did. 53% of men who have attended church or even attend church have entered or reached the middle class, opposed to those who have never gone, which is 43%, which is not a bad number either. All right, number two, military service is also linked to higher odds of making it into the middle class or higher for black men. Military service is also linked to higher odds of making it into the middle class or higher for black men. The report finds that black men who served in the military, which is me, and I am in the middle class, and I have attended church, I've done both, and I am a born-again Christian today, all right? 2 out of 3 for me. The report finds that black men who served in the military are more likely than those who did not to be in the middle class when they reach the midlife. 54% of black men who have served in the military reach the middle class, opposed to 45% who never enter the military. Still, those are great numbers. All right. Number one. Here's the third economic success engine for black men. The third economic one is black men. Oh boy. Woo. Black men who are married are significantly more likely to be members of the middle or upper middle class in their 50s. Here's the numbers. This is the highest number. For example, 70% of married black men are in the middle class. I got the trifecta. Got the trifecta, baby. All right, church attenders, military, married. 70% of us are in the middle and upper middle class. All my friends that I met in the military, all are still married. Not all of them are necessarily Christian, but a lot of them have been to church. And all of them have been in the military, as I mentioned. And they're doing very well. Very well. All right. Now, 70% of married black men are in the middle class compared to 20% of never married black men. That's a crazy number. 20% of black men who have never married have been getting into the middle class and upper middle class. Only 20%? Woo! And 44% of divorced black men are still in the middle class and upper middle class. The only thing I would add to these numbers, brothers and sisters, is that I would add that with the economy that we presently have right now, I'm thinking a lot of brothers, and most of the brothers that I know that are operating from the trifecta, they also are conscientious, competent individuals. Meaning, by being in the military, one of the benefits you gain from being in the military is that you are required to be responsible. You are required to be accountable. You are required to be reliable. You are required to commit. You are required to be trustworthy. Okay? And you are required to work in a team atmosphere. So you're used to working with a team to attain results. Perhaps that's why this companion partnership thing works so well for military men. We kind of like the team thing. We kind of like that formula. Ladies, if you're watching this, you might want to think about these military brothers. Just saying. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I gotta admit, it was actually amazing. Black men making it in America. Wow. With the addition of college and career training, and I would even add entrepreneurship, that's 3 more avenues right there that gets these men, but you have to have the foundation. I think that military dynamic adds a lot, primarily because in the military, you get the benefit of working with a team, learning all of those social skills, making sure those core values have been instilled, making sure you learn the basics of leadership and learning how to follow and to become a leader. And you take those same skills into the real world and you just pretty much benefit. I've been benefiting ever since, and I grew up, as I've said many times, projects, single mother, um, Detroit, Michigan. I had all of that I had to deal with. But when I came into the world of men, I had to let childish things go. And I think that's one of the best things. Now, it doesn't always work for every guy. Some guys, they just can't let the little boy man go. They just can't let Peter Pan go. They act like Peter Pan, and the government just gets rid of them. They just kick them on out. They don't deal with them. But I wanted to share that information with you. I was very proud to hear that black men are making it in America, and we are using those engines of success, economic success, to get it done. So ladies, there is some hope out there. That's my time. I thank you for yours. Catch you on the other side. God bless you.